Welcome back to Eldest Souls, New Game Plus. We are probably, hopefully, with any luck, finishing up New Game Plus today, and I guess we can work on some of the other achievements, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We need to take care of New Game Plus first. So yeah, there's a couple I still want to do, like these ones maybe. So yeah, it's Ariana and then the final boss. And Ariana, I don't even remember anything about. I just remember it being kind of chaotic, and I didn't really understand it, and I kind of just got lucky, and then I won. We also just need to do one more fight for this thing. Yeah, so I might be able to use it on the final boss, but that means I have to use counter on the final boss. Not sure I want to do that. We'll see. I guess I have to do a bunch of side quests as well. How did we, like, purify stuff? Wait, the purify was just for the vial. Oh, right, I have that. I guess I want to do that as well. I don't know which ending I want to do this time. I have already forgotten, like, what each one actually ended up doing for you. I guess we also want to do, like, a no ending, where you just do balance, or did I already do that? I think I did that. Wasn't that the last one I did? Or no? I don't remember. Reinforced plating, huh? Ah, what a marvel. I have to say, this is not really my field, but I've read all about those in the works of Igor the Slayer. Who could forget the epics of the 5 warriors, sent deep within the great forest to slay the monsters of old? Even I can tell this one has been smithed recently. And the quality, where'd you get it from, good fellow? I would have guessed all the forges would be silent by now. Oh, I should stop talking so much. But they didn't talk about the sword, did they? If you choose that upgrade, I don't think you got any dialogue about that, which is kind of weird. This one is pretty nice for just moving around. A little hard to aim, though. I see, we don't have the vial. Don't remember how to get that. It might have been on the far right side. Past all the lasers and stuff. And this I still can't do. Must be missing something from over here. Don't remember where I've missed pickups in this area. It's a bit hard to tell where that hookshot is actually gonna, like, connect to. If you want to do, like, precise movements, I feel like it's not very reliable. It's hard to tell exactly where collision and terrain is. But man, it can go very far if you do get a good one. Yeah, there's nothing around here. Oh, but it can go too far. Okay. It does have like a max range. Yeah, so something must be over here. I remember picking up something, just not what. And I guess if we want to get the unlock before this boss, I would have to go through the lasers again. I mean, with the hook shot, maybe that wouldn't be too bad. Maybe I should test it. Ow. Jesus. And that's only for lore. I'm stuck. Yeah. Yeah, this section is very annoying. Like, sure, I don't have to do this. I could just go up and do it after they're turned off, but man, I would love for this game to have some like actual combat in between bosses, like Hyper Light Drifter style exploration and combat, instead of it just being mostly walking and then some of this like really annoying stuff. Alright. That's the Abyssal Stone. Yeah, that doesn't help me. That's just for the bird, right? So how do you get the, like, flame thing? And then it's great, because now we'll have, like... Wow. I'll probably be, like, half HP by the time I get to the boss, so the first attempt is gonna be, like, nothing. Oh man, this would be so annoying for, like, no-death runs. You're supposed to never die in any of the fights, because you can just, like, go in being hurt, and then you're kind of screwed. Alright, what is this boss about again? Right, this weird thing. Ow. Okay, you can't avoid damage with that. Ooh, Jesus, I didn't even realize those spawned in this. Is it a chandelier? Something like that? Chandelier chariot thing? Kind of a strange boss design. Ooh. Some of this is very hard to avoid. Ah, too early on that. Can I destroy these? Yeah, I can. Oh, phase 2. Oh man, I'm just getting hit by everything. Damn. Okay. Well, I'm kind of liking this playstyle of just bursting over and over. Ow. Okay, I can, like, destroy these. Maybe I should be doing that. This is so chaotic. Jesus Christ, this boss fight. Like, you can't really tell what's happening. Ow. Yeah, man, those tells are very hard to get used to. Like a floating fortress kind of thing? Yeah, I guess so. Like a mural. Damn. It's locked in a charge attack. Holy crap, yeah, that attack is the problem right now. Everything else doesn't really do any damage. That one, I just need to, like, pay attention to the tiny little... The hand moves a slight bit, and that's the tell. Like that. Yeah. Why is she doing, like, more of them now? Oh, man. Yeah, and you have to, like, manage all of the ads as well, otherwise you're gonna get overwhelmed. Maybe staying kind of, like, behind her is a good plan. Because then most of those don't hit you. Okay, now I can't stay behind her anymore. There we go. I feel like she just didn't really do any bad attacks that time. Okay. Well, she wasn't too bad. It's just kind of that one attack. The, like, spear throw, or spear thrust. That does so much damage, and it's kind of hard to predict, or, like, react to the tell. Most of the other stuff you could kind of just ignore, which is weird. Yeah, it's a pretty nice, like, rotation that this build has going. I do, like, one charge attack, then a blood burst, then the spacebar shard, and then a blood burst, and then you can probably do a Q, and then you might have to do, like, one charge attack, and then just rinse and repeat. So you just get very consistent blood bursts. So yeah, now how do we do all the, like, collecting stuff? I just don't remember where to get any of the things. Like the thing to melt the ice on the left, and the vial, empty vial. Maybe the empty vial is past that? Was it over here? Did I already do this? Did I get the key? I don't remember if I got the key for this. Yeah, I've already been in here. Never mind. Yeah, True Ice Prism. That should be in this area. Are you saying that, like, do you know that? Or is it just because it has been that way? Like, the right side has had the left side items and vice versa? Because I don't remember where you got the True Ice Prism. I got it before going to that side. I don't remember that, because, I mean, I remember the icicles being in the way for a little bit, at least, when I was on the left side. And that's just the DLC. I don't remember if... Oh god, you have to watch the cutscene every time, even though I've already been down here. Well, while that's happening, can I Alt-Tab? Is it still playing? Just looking this up. No, yeah, the True Ice Prism is a different thing. True Ice Prism is what you get. You put that in the vial, and that's what you give to the skull to get the, like, revive. The Cultist stores up healing. Oh man, which one did I, like, already do? The ending. I did the, like, bird ending, and I think I did... What was the other one? Was it Balance, or was it, like, the fire one? Because I guess I should do maybe the Hunter one, or the Skull. Not really seeing where to get all this stuff. There's tips for no damaged bosses here. Well, that's different, but I might need that in the future. Yeah, I don't think anything is down here because this is the DLC. Or, again, not DLC, but expansion, the new update. Which doesn't seem... It seems kind of, like, separate from everything else. Yeah, there's nothing to pick up here. Do we have to watch the elevator cutscene in reverse if I go here? Oh, you can't. Right, we can just teleport out. Was anything, like, over here, maybe? No. I think I did say yes to the fire guy this time around. Yeah, there's not really anything going on here. There's so little information about this game. I couldn't find anything, like, explaining this fetch quest or anything. Did I explore around here everywhere? Maybe there was a pickup in here I didn't get. Well, we can just go out here now. It's near the bottom altar? Like, all the way down here? I feel like I picked up everything here. Oh, you mean, I see. The altars in the wood area, the forest area. Okay. Did you like go and check my VOD? That might be the most reliable way to find this again, instead of looking up information. Was it just near the water here? Because, I mean, I know there's an item there, but I thought I picked this up. Damn. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Thought I'd already grabbed that. Oh god. And this is not really for anything, it's just to talk to this guy. But I guess I'll swear myself to this guy now. Why not? But then I don't remember how to get the empty vial to do that quest line. Is that, like, past the end? If we go in the door, maybe? Because, I mean, I think you can get back at that point. Like, it breaks, but then we can teleport back, I think. Yeah, Path of Balance. Don't you also give that guy the Abyssal Stone? Oh, is that how you get it? You just give the researcher the Abyssal Stone? Yeah, that might be it. Ah, okay, good. Thanks for the help. Yeah, now we get the empty vessel. And then I'll do the ice ending this time. Why not? If you're digging through VODs, would you mind checking which endings I actually did get? Like, the first time I think I was crow ending, right? But I guess I didn't talk to the bard after getting the crow ending. So I kind of want to know what he says about that. So I suppose I kind of have to do all of them. Don't remember what I did, like, the last time. See, I think... Wasn't that the fire one? I think I did the fire one and then talked to the guy and he was like, well, you've doomed us all. Great. Something like that. I'm pretty sure he's gonna say, well, you've doomed... Oh, right. I have to go to Hyam. You've doomed us all about all of these, basically. Because none of these endings seem particularly good, except for the balance. Just don't engage with any of them. Yeah, crow and fire, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought as well. But again, I don't think I talked to the bard with the crow ending. So I would have to do that if I want to see what he says. Oh, God. Here we go. Alright. Yeah, that's like revive. Can be decent, I guess. Wrong one. Oh, and right. We now have the Executioner, right? Yeah, Executioner. In the depths of the great chasm, among forgotten treasures and artifacts, horrible monsters were rumored to stalk every corner. But such difficulties have never been a deterrent for the most determined soldiers of fortune, and quick modifications were made to their blades for them to cut through the most towering of abominations. 30% damage dealt, but you get slower and take more damage. I feel like this is just... I mean, I guess for this playstyle, what I'm doing now, this one is actually not that good anymore, because, oh, active shard damage, this one doesn't do any damage, right? Like 23 damage. It's only really there for the bloodthirst and repositioning. And this is like also more damage. But charge speed and attack speed. I mean, I guess maybe this is better. Just 30% more damage. If I can actually survive. Which is questionable. We still can't even get another one. You would need to do like several New Game Plus runs, I guess, in order to actually max out both sides of a tree. You've chosen a path of flawed and twisted logic, I'm afraid. What value is there in preserving a lifeless shell? It seems like my words were wasted on you all along. May you find peace in the frost. Yeah, you just... No matter what you choose, he's disappointed in you. Unless you don't make a choice at all. Alright, let's see how this goes on the final boss. Luckily, we don't have to do Abyss mode. What was that called again? Depths of the Forsaken or something? Those fights. So, then again, the first and the last one were good. I just didn't really care for the spider one. Ah, seemed like I had to do something with this thing. I don't remember that attack. Fun little loop-de-loop. Why not? Ow, damn, what the hell? Okay, that was a massive area. I think I had to, like, stop that from happening. I was too focused on the red guy. Man, he likes that attack now. It's pretty hard to deal with everything else going on while he's just spinning and winning. I guess that triple shot is like new in New Game Plus, right? And the extra shockwaves as well. Yeah, those like double shockwaves. I don't think we're in New Game. The ice is a revive, but it's not like actually revive. It's just when I would have died, it just prevents me dying one time. So like in that case, I probably already had died on the previous hit, and then I took another one. Man, this is very, very loud. God, can you do another attack? Oh man. Even though you dodge, you can still run out of stamina if you do it too quick. Oh, ow. Okay, that was a lot of damage in one go. Huh. Yeah, the ice revive definitely doesn't seem very reliable. Like, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Oh man, this is only phase 1 too. Damn. Yeah, the ice is already broken at this point. crap. This is so much damage. All of these, like, defensive things just feel pointless, because, like, you die in 1 to 2 hits anyway from some attacks. Very annoying when this attack happens. Good lord. This seems a bit overtuned. There's like too many things to actually dodge all of them, I feel, compared to a new game. But I don't know. Probably just have to learn it. Man, yeah. When you get too close to the wall on that, you can't really dodge all of it. Yeah, there's like times where you can't avoid this thing. I don't know what to do. Man. Yeah, there's too many attacks. The floor is exploding, he's slapping his hands, the balls are bouncing, leaving shockwaves. I don't know, man. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like you can really avoid everything. Like, I just don't understand the no damage thing. I'm definitely gonna just see if I can find videos on that. I don't feel like that's worth trying to do on my own. Not sure what this red guy does, if he gets that off. What's the camera doing? Okay, that's one face. Oh my god. That one, like, the first phase is as long as the entire boss was in New Game. And the second phase is just worse. Oh man. I was hoping I could just stay there. I couldn't really get out of the ball. Ow. Oh, man. At least the red ball hasn't been doing the spin to win. God, I hate when it's so delayed to start. Thought I could dodge that. Oh, I'm just dodging into all of this. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Was that the charge up? It's hard to tell. Hard to pay attention to both balls and the boss at the same time. Yeah, like, in that situation, I just don't know what to do. I don't feel like it's possible to avoid the spin to win. When you're in a corner, I can't go against it, because then I'll get hit by the next one, because it's, like, too soon after the dodge. And I can't go, like, with it, because I don't know. That's what I tried to do, and it didn't work. I don't understand the spin to win sometimes. If it's, like, perfectly centered in the middle, then yeah, it's fine, but it almost feels like that's what it should do. He should always go to the center and then do the spin to win, and it would kind of make more sense. Instead, he just does this kind of shit. Okay, good. And I'm even full HP. Don't have my ice barrier left, though. What is this supposed to indicate? Like, what is being taken away? I don't feel like anything is different. Oh god. Is it based on your choice? Like it's shooting icicles because I chose to do the ice ending? Come on, there we go. Okay, is phase 3 as easy as it was the first time? Or is it like a real phase now? It just seems to be like a damage race, I guess. He just starts like sucking your life and you just have to damage him, like kill him ahead of it. But like in that case, doesn't that mean it's impossible not to take damage on the final phase? How could you possibly do no damage? I don't really understand. Well, phase 2 and 3 were actually kind of fine. I didn't realize that phase 2 only heals him like half HP. And then phase 3 only heals like a quarter HP. So it's not like a full phase. Yeah, it's just... once again, this is true for and let the world be preserved in lifeless peace. Till time's end. It's true for most of the bosses, especially in New Game Plus, that like... they are good fights, they just have problems where, depending on RNG, they can just be almost unbeatable. Like, you can just have situations that are impossible to deal with if you're just unlucky. And maybe there's, like, things you can do to mitigate that, like positioning and whatever else that I don't understand, but just from, like, an initial perspective, it just feels kind of frustrating when sometimes it feels like you just die because of luck, and that's never a good idea for a game such as this, in my opinion. But, like, in that final run, yeah, that felt pretty good, because there weren't any, like, problematic attacks and problematic positions, so, I don't know. It's fun when everything aligns, and not so fun when it doesn't. Is it New Game Plus 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 Plus? So is this like 30% damage taken in addition to the what I was already doing? Is this another under 140% HP on top of what was already going on? Or is it just like a slight buff? Because yeah, that's the problem. You don't really get stronger in New Game Plus. It would be nice if you did like keep your upgrades and could like get all 4 ending upgrades. So if I just continue now, I'm just at +2, yeah. But that's kind of everything we need to do. This is probably never happening. This one I'm kind of curious about. I might want to try that. This I'm kind of surprised I haven't done. Oh, I also, damn, I forgot to switch over to the counter thing, but that's fine. So how does this work anyway? Like, if I start a new game, I guess I won't have this. Like, to get all 4 of these unlocked, you have to play up to 3 cycles of a new game, right? Because I can't just, like, start a new game and then get this one. I mean, I could, but then I won't have the other ones, which is a little strange. It would be nice if you didn't necessarily have to increase the difficulty. You should just be able to, like, loop around without increasing the difficulty level, and then when you do want to increase it, you can. Just, like, maybe have an option where you just unlock new difficulties as you, like, beat the previous one or something. Yeah, that's... I don't actually know if that works that way. A nice strat for the final boss is to, like, aim for the spheres if they're together or close to the boss, so you can, like, do damage to multiple targets at a time. I don't know if it works that way. It was another boss too, right? Like the 2 orbs, the hot and cold boss. I'm not sure if doing damage to multiple things at the same time does stack up the damage. It's very hard to tell, like, in the middle of things, I can't really pay attention to it. But if that does work, if it does, like, triple the damage if you hit all 3, then yeah, that's definitely something you want to aim for, but I kind of feel like you can only do damage once within a swing, but yeah, not really sure. Well, I guess we can, like, jump into Arena and just test some stuff out, just out of curiosity. So how does Arena work anyway? Like, what upgrades do I have? So if we just go Watchdog? What? What do you mean Abyss mode? The arena allows you to face any foe at any time and unlock higher difficulties as you beat them. Be wary, however, as you won't get stronger at higher difficulties while your foe does. Remember to choose your build before you enter the arena. But this isn't Abyss mode. Wait, why does it say +1? Did I select +1? Is it instead of 0, I guess? I see. Yeah, now it's not Abyss mode. But now we have nothing? Really? Really? That seems strange. Wait, what? You can't even... Huh? What do you mean? You can't even have anything on the Watchdog. That's not true, is it? You had 1 point. Or did you get the first point after Watchdog? Is that why this happens? So we don't have a style at all? I guess that's how it works, but I still have the weapon. Damn. Can you... There should be like a hot... a quick reset. That would be nice. Oh man. Yeah, I think that's consistent, right? Like he always does that after. Yeah, okay. That part's consistent at least. Alright, I mean, I can definitely no damage this guy. Why didn't... Oh. In the arena, I guess he doesn't do the, like, unavoidable attack that's supposed to just teach you about healing? Or was that just luck or something? I don't know. I didn't get a skill point for that, did I? No. Oh, but once again, I forgot to check. I have the weapons. But I guess I want this weapon anyway. Damn. I don't know if it's better to just do, like, consistent charge attacks instead of doing blood bursts. Maybe that's better. And then you can dodge a little more consistently as well. Let's try that. Yeah, so I do have my weapons. Oh, so maybe these are... Maybe if I go into new game, I will have these unlocked, and they are, like, just in the entire game. You just unlock these forever. That would be nice. Which is better, 25% charge speed or this? Maybe the charge speed, because, I mean, it's, like, slightly less DPS in that sense, but it's more flexible, because we get faster and I can dodge more. Let's try that. Yeah, no problem. And there you go. You can get no hits from this. Okay. But yeah, again, I just feel like... What? No. I feel like some of these aren't really reasonable and or possible to no damage. I don't know if there's some trick to them. Not sure I'm gonna bother doing all of these. So let's just see. Like, on this one, I'll have one, right? Now I do have 1 point. Huh. Yeah, so that's how that works. Damn. Ah, didn't have any stamina. And I guess I want to build up more fangs to begin with if I want this, like, 4-stack achievement. Oh, just dashed into that. I just want to test that. I'm not going for, like, no damage. I just want to get 3 fangs and then maintain the buff while I get a 4th one. Oh no, that's not what you do. You have to like have 4 stacks for 30 seconds. Oh man, that's very delayed. It's like an Elden Ring boss. What the hell? Okay, hitbox. I guess there's a big circle around him. That's the wrong attack. Oh no! It ran out. Man, that seems very hard to maintain four stacks for 30 seconds without letting it drop. Yeah, maybe you need a bunch of upgrades for that or something. Something that helps build more of those. I can't remember. Yeah, like that grants you 20% of a Berserker Fang. So Fury Fragments would help. Yeah, alright. Well, I mean, I think kind of the only thing I'll want to try and do is the no shard, no infusion. So what does that mean? Like, yeah, it's just shard and infusion. You can still level up skills and you can still use weapons. So I'm kind of curious about that. Yeah, let's maybe try that. You can't skip this? Really? Why? For a game like this, that you're expected to play like many times, unskippable cutscenes. Why? Yeah, I'm not sure which weapon I actually prefer. This one or the 35% damage one. The extra move speed is quite nice. Wait. How is it... Hold on. How is it possible to beat the game without using a shard? Don't you have to use the hookshot thing to get across after the knight? How does that make sense? Without activating any shard or infusions. It would be nice if it said without activating any shard or infusion in a boss fight or something. No country for godly men. Yeah, after the Guardian fight, it requires you to use a shard. Oh, that's weird. You can specifically use it for that point, and then you get it. Yeah, that's weird. That definitely should be clearer. Yeah, honestly, in pretty much any game ever, having unskippable cutscenes is a big why. Like, you should always allow for skipping cutscenes, even if you would rather the player don't. And I guess, oh man, I guess for this I really should be collecting stuff again. I want to just like race through it, but at the same time, if I'm not using shards and infusions, then I'm probably gonna need every little edge I can get. So I need like the weapon buff and the forged weapon and one of the ending things that would help. Yeah, it would be nice if it was just, you can't use a shard or infusion in a boss fight. or something. Not specifically that you can't use them ever, so you could use the hook shot just for speed. Yeah, like that's unavoidable, right? I'm pretty sure that's unavoidable in a normal game. So you have to do this in Arena if you want no-hit Watchdog? Are there more attacks like that that you can't avoid in the normal game, but you can in Arena? What is that about? Like, destroy their guard? When does that ever come into play? I don't feel like that's really a thing most of the time. I guess maybe on those, like... Ow. On, like, the balls on the final boss, I guess when they're, like, pulsating and, like, charging up an attack, you have to specifically Bloodburst, or you don't get any damage on them. I suppose that makes sense. So oh, yeah, and we do have the weapons. Alright, so I mean, I guess I'll do counter, even though that's probably not the best one to do with no infusions or whatever. Yeah, let's try that out. I wonder if you can hold off on giving this guy the harp string until, like, the very end of the game, and then he'll just, like, move along the quest as normal. Or if you don't give him the string now, do you miss out on it? He's not there anymore after a certain point. You believe the values at the end of that New Game Plus run is what you get for the next run, as they're higher than the previous run. Yeah, but the problem is, like... I thought when you first did New Game Plus, it said plus 120% health. I thought that meant, oh, they will have 120% health, but it actually was plus 120% health, so they were really tanky. But then in New Game Plus Plus, will it be in addition to that plus 140%? So it's like 260 total from the base value, or 360 really? Or is it like just 20% more? You can't really know without actually fighting bosses in it. Oh man, that's kind of annoying that, like, you can get hit during the end lag of counter. Oh, that's later than I thought. This is kind of nice, this weapon for guard. You get a lot of guards. I need to get better at the timing though. I'm doing it way too early. Yeah. You would think just 20% more, but yeah, that's... You don't know with this game. Okay, you, like, slide around after a counter, and that can get you into some trouble as well. Ah, damn it. I thought I would iframe. Ah, thought I would get that in time. Oh. I don't know what I just got. Damn it. Couldn't do it during that time. There we go. So is this one? 3 perfect counters in a row? What does that mean, like, in a row? Yeah, what does that mean? Like, in 3 attacks in a row from them? Or just, like, the times where you would have gotten hit, you perfect counter 3 times? So you can, like, dodge between them and stuff. No idea. Well, I got it. So yeah, now we have to get this on, which is weird. And now I just have to take it off, I guess. How do I do that? There we go. Wait, what? Huh? How did I open this? Oh, you have to follow the tutorial. That's kind of strange. Why would that make a difference? Okay, you can't really counter both of those. Yeah, it's not the best because you have to dodge away, wasting your counter. Yeah. Not sure it's good to do that there. Damn, that's very late. Oh, way too early, but still got him. That felt extremely easy. Huh. Yeah, hopefully I'm just, like, hardened by New Game Plus, and these bosses aren't really gonna feel that problematic. I think I still need the money for this guy. Yeah, need money first. Using this weapon is also going to be nice for just moving around. Will be a little faster. You guess the achievement doesn't apply when using shards outside of boss fights? No, I think it does. It's just specifically an exception for that tutorial thing. That's what the dev said. Like, I removed it now, but yeah, someone asked that same question and the dev replied saying you can use it for that, but then from that point on you can never use it. Okay, I had no HP, I guess. That's the fun part about, like, trying to do this without ever dying. If you just barely get a fight, like, without dying, then the next one is basically a guaranteed death. I need to get better at the timings here. Oh man. Yeah, the fire ones are pretty fast and the ice ones are pretty slow. I didn't have it in time. Not a good start. Oh man. Yeah, the ice attacks are so slow, but the fire attacks are so fast. What? I like both got the counter and took damage at the same time? Damn. Ah. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to get used to the counter timing. And the boss timings. There we go. Huh? What just happened? Why am I, like, doing another one? Why do they have the shield as if they're... What? What is going on with this guy? Why do they have the shield as if they're whole when they weren't? I don't get that. Maybe I should have just bloodbursted instead. That's better. I need to not do that. I like react too slowly to the water one and then I don't have it for the fire one. I keep using it too early. Huh? You can't parry those? That was definitely a parry. What the hell? And yeah, using Bloodburst is kind of bad because then I don't get the guard charge. I just want to keep charging forever. Huh? What do you mean that's not a parry? I was standing inside of the laser. And it doesn't count as a parry. What the hell? The parry is a little weird. It just doesn't seem to work on certain attacks. Oh man. Okay, you can parry them. I don't know why I couldn't that one time. Yeah, I definitely don't think this is happening in one stream. Like, sure, the first bosses are easy, but they get harder even in new game. And my damage won't ramp up accordingly. Yeah, like, I keep thinking I'll be able to charge up my guard before I get hit, but then I don't. So I guess I need to, like, rely on that less and just actually dodge when I need to dodge. Damn it. That's very hard to time. And once again, sometimes you can, like, take damage and counter at the same time. Yeah, what is going on now? I guess you just have to kill both of them, like, when you kill one, the other gets a shield until you kill that too. Haven't really noticed that before. Yeah, I definitely don't think I prefer the counter play style. Oh, wrong way. Like, I feel like the iframes on it should be even longer than the attack, so you don't get hit, like, you get clipped a lot right at the end of your counter, which kind of defeats the purpose of, like, block and counter if you can't, like, reliably avoid damage with it. Seems like it's just better to actually avoid stuff and have the higher DPS of the other two trees, I feel. But who knows? Maybe that's how you get no damage. Oh. Yeah, you get the hunter charm here. Yeah, definitely would be nicer if they made the achievement you cannot use any shard or infusion during a boss fight. So, like, you can have a shard specifically equipped, but you can't use it during any boss fight. Because then I could, like, use that to travel around and stuff, which would make this a lot nicer. Nope. A shame. Such a shame indeed. Those who won't serve the Bright One will instead join the pyre. Might you find peace within the flames, child. Holy shit! Okay. I don't think the others kill you when you say no. Well, that would be a nice end if you were doing, like, a no-death run. God damn it, I should have gotten the save point. If he's that strong and he can just, like, one-shot everything, why isn't he just burning the world himself? Yeah, it would also make sense how that tutorial part, like, is allowed if it was that you just can't use them in boss fights, but you can use them outside of combat. Okay, I've saved. I want to try this again and see if I can, like, dodge. No, you don't have control at all during that. Alright. So that's just a scripted death, even though the others don't kill you. Okay, so I haven't looked at this tree much. I guess I'll just take a quick peek. Yeah, Bulwark. That sounds pretty decent. After dodging, you get a shoulder bash. Shield effects on you are amplified by 50% when shoulder bash hits. That sounds really good, combined with, like, you charge attack for Bulwark, and then you bind charge attack to the protective, the one that was all the way up here, that boss that, like, gives you a shield as well. And then you keep using shoulder bash, and you just, like, shield everything. Maybe that counts as, like, not taking damage, so maybe that's a way to do some of these. Shoulder bash ends with a ground stomp. Oh, instantly shattering any shield effects, dealing triple the amount in damage. Huh. So, depending on the boss, if they have shield phases, that could be really good. Shield effects converts all shield effects into instant healing. That doesn't sound good if it converts them. If it was like, heals you for your shield, but you still have the shield, I feel like that would be better. Millennium max charge attack. What do you mean max charge attack? Isn't it just either you charge it or you don't? Creates a defensive circle. While in the circle, counter swing deals extra damage and grants more counter bar. I mean, that just sounds decent. And then over here, it's Bloodburst again. Warding Blade. Okay, that sounds pretty good. But then again, like, yeah, that's the problem. Landing a Bloodburst, which means you have to Bloodburst a lot, which means you're not getting counter bar. Because you need to charge attacks to get counter bar. And the Warding Blades grant counter bar. Upon perfect counter, Warding Blades are instantly resummoned after shattering. Granting some shield. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Just like getting way more counter bar to kind of make up for the fact that you're not charging as much. It's just kind of a boring tree. It's just like the same throughout, basically, in just like 3 different like branches. If 3 Warding Blades shatter at the same time, you get Fatal Blade. 60 damage, but you get like bonuses. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Bulwark tree sounds better to me, but this sounds interesting. But yeah, let's go for Bulwark. And then do... more shielding if you have counter bar. So I'm assuming this can, like, stack up, right? Like, if I do a charge attack, I get a Bulwark. If I do another one before getting hits, surely that means it's now 8 shielding? Otherwise, it would be really bad. I don't know. And that would only go up to 10, right? But if it does stack, that would be quite good. I guess we can try that, like, see if I do get a higher shield on subsequent charge attacks. I guess we can test it right away. There's a training dummy over here. No. Okay, so subsequent charge attacks don't increase that. So the Bulwark is just this amount, and that's it. And it's just for 4 seconds, and then it explodes. So you can't stack it up any higher. And that's with the extra. So if we don't have that, and we have like this instead, then it's tiny. No? What? I don't really understand, like... Well, that did most of my health. Oh, right! I don't get the extra because I can't build counter. For some reason, I don't know why this is a thing, you can't build counter gauge outside of boss fights, even though all other styles can, like, build their resource. Well, I guess... No, the Berserk Slash probably can't build. I guess that's just an intentional thing, just kind of unfortunate. But yeah, so in that case, I think having this will be better. Alright, so... How did we, like, thaw the telescope again? Where's the thing you pick up for that? Wait, what was that, like, over here somewhere? Yeah, it's hard to remember where all of these little pickups are, and there's, like, 8 different fetch quests going on. And they all kind of blend together, because it's just the same thing. Find thing, bring thing. There it is. Yeah, I just want the feather right away. Where did you get the gold pouch again? And then going over here, there's no point, right? That's just for an ending, so we don't even need to check it. Oh, it's here? Right, rusted key. And then we go in there, and is that where the gold was? Because yeah, I'll take any buff I can get. Yeah, there we go. Then after this, I think we have all of the buffs we can until the end of the game, basically. Research papers and Abyssal Stone. I already forgot, like, where you found those. Whoops. Improve the sword. It's not faster to, like, charge attack, right? No. Let's just check in with the librarian, just to see if they had something to say about the sharpening steel as well. Because they did the armor, and I don't remember anything being said about this. Yeah, so we just, like, build up damage, which definitely seems better, though I guess it doesn't stack in any way. It's just, if you consistently do damage, you just do 10% extra. Which, I mean, I guess that's better than nothing. We also don't really know how these stack. If they stack together, like, multiplicatively or additively. How that works. Yeah, you just, for some reason, you can't talk about the steel, but you can the armor. Kind of weird. Right side in that area that has those enemies. Wasn't it left side? You mean over here? Because right side, I think, were papers. But then the research papers... Where were those? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's the Abyssal Stone. Oh yeah, it was probably in the nightmare area. So I guess it's a good idea to do Hayim first. Oh boy. Oh boy. I guess you just have to make sure to touch these to heal up between fights. So you don't go in at no HP. Yeah, now I have a much bigger shield bar. Oh man, gotta like relearn all of these attacks now. Yeah, he's got completely different timings. Ah. Ah, wow, they didn't even hit. Ouch. Alright, well, there we go. He's not too bad with his type of build. Too bad we can't use that. Yeah, shoulder bash. I gotta, like, remember to do that. So after a dodge, I have to light attack. I think I like this one. Just go really tanky. Now the question is, where were the research papers? I can never remember in this place. Nothing. I want to say it was, like, up from the middle at the start. But I'll check here. Okay. Yeah, man, just the platforming alone is gonna make a no-death run, like, way too annoying. Just you can die from so many things, just completely out of nowhere. Nope, that's just papers. I feel like they just kind of included those types of achievements because, well, every boss arena game has, like, defeated with no damage, defeated without dying, but it doesn't feel like the game is actually balanced for that. Yeah, there we go. So I could actually go... Well, guess we're going back. What? So giving up and retrying is, like, the same. What? Now I'm just here, and I can't teleport out. What? That's so weird. Just stacking up my deaths. Well, now we're just up above. So retry and give up doesn't matter in this area. And this is gone, so we can't even, like, teleport. It's very strange. Also, I actually think it might be closer to get to this guy from this place, because going out here is very quick. Might be about the same. There we go. So then, who do we go for this time? The hunter, maybe? Oh, right. Have to... Right, if I want to do that, I have to kill Dear God first. And, yeah, sure. Let's try that before Nightmare Guy. Actually, I should probably go to bed. I'm just gonna do, like, an attempt or two. Yep, gotta learn all the timings again. I don't know if you can do anything about these plants, or if it's just like, just defeat him before they cover the arena. 'Cause yeah, like, what do you do now if we were doing no damage? And it's just not possible. Ah. Well, I'm getting a ton of shielding, even though I'm taking damage a lot. Ah, too early. Ah, I didn't time it right. I was like waiting for this the entire time. Just like keeping my eyes glued to that. I could have done that. You think those... Wait, what? Oh, I can't pause. You think those plants grow when you deal damage to the boss in the area? Yeah, but then... Yeah, okay, I guess they don't do anything... Oh, and when you take damage, it seems. Yeah. But also when you do damage to the boss. And then, now, they start doing damage. I guess. Okay. So I guess you just gotta, like, cycle around to keep them not doing damage if you want to actually do no damage. Yeah, this is some crazy shielding. Like, you can kind of just face tank most things with this now. Yep, that's very easy. Did I just avoid using easy mode all along? Just counter is like the easy way out, maybe? Yeah, just the sheer amount of shielding you get is kind of insane. Yeah, there's probably an ending for balance as well, where you don't take anything. Right, just talk to this guy. And we have to do all the altar stuff. Maybe you didn't need to talk to this guy. We could probably just go and do it. There we go. I mean, that could be kind of better with this kind of playstyle, since I assume it will still trigger even if I'm shielded. So if it's like a massive hit that takes all of my shield and part of my health, we'll then get like a heal afterwards. But it's not very reliable, like only once every 45 seconds. But yeah, I guess I'll leave it off here. Then I'm not sure if I'm gonna do Nightmare Guy or the chick over here, whatever she was called. Yeah, don't remember, but definitely don't have time to finish this tonight, even though it's only 3 more bosses, I believe. But yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely gonna finish this as well, but I don't know if I'm gonna be bothering with like this one. Maybe we can do that in arena mode or something. Just do like the Watchdog, but in New Game Plus, so we have a bunch of upgrades and do that or something. Or someone that's like easy to dodge but kind of tanky. Yeah, not really sure, but I might look up some videos on some of these just to see like what is it that how is it even possible? And then we'll see, because yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be wanting to do any of this stuff. It just doesn't seem reasonable or fun. But yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good night.